Mic check, 1 2 1 2. It's Georgette Pierre, and you're listening to Black and Nuanced podcast, dispelling the ideas that all Black people are monoliths because we're not. My guests and I bring our varying perspectives to pop culture, relationships, and things we go through that we can't always name. Welcome to Black and Nuanced, powered by Excitement Radio. So I still have Toine with me this week, guest co-host. Toine, tell the people, the good people, who you are.
How y'all doing? I'm Antoine, Toine the Don, all those good things. I come from a beautiful show called Toine 360. Every Monday night I go live, and I just keep it real.
Where do you go live, Toine?
I go live on Facebook and YouTube.
Okay.
You can search Toine 360 or Antoine Edwards on Facebook to find me. But it's an hour of good conversation, girl chat, tea talk, all that good stuff. So we get there and we keep it real.
I love that.
Thank you.
Spell Antoine because there's so many different ways.
Yes, well, my Toine is spelled Toine, the THEDON.
He said my Toine.
Yeah, my mom wouldn't let me do the Toine, the DA, TH.
I'm not. Come on, mama.
That's it. So
may she rest in peace. Come on,
yes,
mama. Yes. Okay, so Toine. So I had a chance to catch up with Def Jam artist Dominic Lord. So,
he's cool.
Yeah, he was hella cool. So here is the interview with Dominic Lord.
Hello, my name is Georgette Pierre, and I am from Black and Nuanced podcast. I am here with Def Jam signee Dominic Lord. Dominic, how are you?
What's up? I'm good. What's up with y'all?
Well, I feel like I'm not going to do your intro justice, so tell us a little bit about yourself.
All right. I come from, Harlem. I'm from Harlem, and
Harlem.
You already know. I don't know, I come from like a fashion background too. Like I just was I'm known for just designing clothes and shit like that.
We're gonna get into all of that. Yes,
yeah. Yeah, so that's just really me. I'm just, trying to just make this music for everybody to just vibe out to and just give you a different like an artist from Harlem, it's just giving you a different my perspective, you know what I'm saying? So that's just really what I'm doing right now. Just working hard for that. Yeah.
Absolutely. I can appreciate that. I actually lived in New York for 7.5 years before moving down here. So
that's crazy.
I was actually in Harlem. I actually missed
New York,
so I'm gonna make my way back up there.
Where at in Harlem?
I was Morningside Heights, 111th and Manhattan Avenue.
You definitely, that's Harlem.
Mhm. Yeah, so I enjoyed my time in New York, of course. So you're part of Def Jam's Undisputed roster of new talent. I read that you took a break from music to work on yourself, fast to mature. Yeah. What prompted the change of heart in music at the time?
I don't know. It's like I just started music when I kind of when I made my first song, and that was just my start. You know what I'm saying? Like it was very it was a fast process. Like I didn't even give myself a chance to kind of think about what kind of music I really want to make. You know what I'm saying? I was just going off of whatever I was feeling right then and there. I didn't really separate myself as an artist and my personal life. It was just all together. So, but I always had a lot of things going on. So like I said, just designing clothes and shit, I never stopped doing what I was known to do. You know what I'm saying? Even if it was more behind the scenes, even directing, helping, just helping shit reach a different pinnacle or point or whatever. I'd be having my hand in a lot of shit that I don't talk about.
Right.
So I was just living life and shit, and then when I just started to do it again, it's just this is what it is. You know what I'm saying now? But I was just growing and shit like that. It wasn't like I was like, oh shit, I need to figure out how I'm gonna be in the game or get in the game. However, I wasn't thinking about that shit.
Yeah, you were developing your sound more, or wanting to develop your sound more, and what this was going to be.
Word up, yeah. So I was always just keep listening to music, and you know what I'm saying? It'd be mad dope shit, coming through the pipeline. So it always just inspired me and shit. But I don't hear some shit and be like, oh, I need to go and make that. You know what I'm saying? I just be chilling. So the time when you guys didn't see me making music, I wasn't focused on it. I wasn't trying to focus on the rapper side of Dominic Lord. You know what I'm saying? I was on some designing. I was doing that shit, living life and shit that I can't talk about as well. And I had kids and shit too. So I had kids. Right. Yeah, I had a lot of shit going on. So
right.
But I always was talking to my manager and shit though. So it's he knew what I was on. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't a force with nothing. So it was just all right, bet. And then shit just worked out how it worked out.
Oh, I love that. Okay, so being a woman of color, I love hip hop, and even sometimes it can be contradicting,
I love
right?
black women. Yeah.
Right. So my next question to you. So I was listening to the lyrics of Parade.
And fuck the bitch next door.
And there was there were certain lyrics that was like, I fucked my bitch, then I went next door.
Next door, yeah.
And so I was like, okay, wait, I need to know what Dom's relationship is with
women. I got exes, like a tic-tac-toe.
Right.
Uh-huh.
And so, but I was curious from the standpoint of, just kind of what your relationship with women was, because I know you're not the first or the last rapper to make comments about women in their lyrics. So I was just kind of curious about that, and do you feel like that affects, the relationships with the women in your life?
Well, shit, okay. So look, though. So
it was a loaded question.
Song, so, like, my lyrics is real, right? So,
yeah.
like, everything that I rap about is real. Like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, at the end of the day, like, I have nothing but respect for the queens, you know what I'm saying? Like, women, period. And at the end of the day, like, yeah, like, it's just nothing but respect. Like, that's how it should be taken. It's not like that, you know what I mean? I don't know.
He's like, I want to make sure I feed her properly on what I
You're going to make me roll up a blunt.
You're so
but like, let me explain something to you, like,
yeah.
Dom is good. You know what I'm saying? Like, Dom ain't out here trying to, shit like that. Because Dom, you know what I'm saying? Dom got a black queen. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
but we
I
going
love
to
that.
do what we got to do. You know what I'm saying? But, like, at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm doing this shit for Harlem. I'm doing this shit for the world. I'm doing this shit for Overworld. That's my movement. You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah.
But
you
yeah,
speak in real life, like your own experiences anyways, and so that's what's really authentic to you and things that you've dealt with.
Yes.
Okay.
I want to keep it just like that. Like I got more. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like I got this song called 1400, right? And it's like so like 1400 for the off-white. You know what I'm saying? And it's like if I didn't do the Parade video and buy that shit for the 1400 for that, drop that, and then I went in the studio and rapped about that shit. So it's like that's what it is with me. Like I don't sit around and try to make some shit. I live and then I just talk about it. You know what I mean?
Okay. I mean, we can't get mad at that, right? I mean.
Yeah, that's what I do. A lot of rappers do that shit.
No,
and it'd be a lot when they catch that writer's block and shit like that. It'd be like, bro, you just gotta go out and live. Like,
right.
Yeah.
You seem like you lived a lot of life at 25. I'm like, wait, he's only 25 and he's done all of this?
Hell yeah. I mean, to me, it's like, I ain't do nothing because what I want to do, oh my God. All the things that's just happening now is really like me being on the phone with you is really huge to me. You know what I'm saying? Like
is it awesome?
This radio station, all of that. Like I appreciate y'all for real. Like I want to meet y'all in person and all that.
Yeah, absolutely, definitely want to meet you. I mean,
so me and my black queen come out there. We're gonna come and slide on y'all. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
What's
your overall goal with music this time around?
My overall goal with music is to get like the number ones, the platinum plaques, like
the accolades, all
that shit. Like all that shit. Like I just want to eat all that shit up, all the radio. Every time I get in the car or some shit and get an Uber or something, I hear me on there. Like I want to just, you know what I'm saying? Because what I do, like all of the records that I have, like I really vouch for these records. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't talk like that. Like when I first started making music, I was already telling people like, yo, I'm just like painting for the first time. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't really like fall in love with none of my old shit, but I thought all my old shit was like really dope because it was like, yo, I don't hear nothing else. I was trying to make shit that I didn't hear. You know what I'm saying? Like I was just trying to go against the grain. Like, oh fuck, I was just I want to say this shit. But I'm going to say it this different way that nobody could fucking catch on to, but I didn't know it was like that. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm trying to be different because when I'm making clothes, you can't design the same shit over and over. It was always like when I designed something, it would be different. Like you got to, you know what I'm saying? Like a new shirt. Like once Balenciaga did the triple stack shit, or you know what I'm saying? Well, the regular ones, then they did the triple stack. You know what I'm saying? Now next. You know what I'm saying? They got to do something else. It's like it's always just that evolution. So it's like, but I realize with music is you can find what you want to say and you can keep on saying that shit, but in a different feeling. I can't really explain it yet because I'm just really getting it too, but it's something a little different that I understand now that I would be able to explain a little later. So just making a lot of music though. So this shit is going. I can't wait for it to just touch everybody. You know.
So you kind of, it's like a second coming with your music. You know, you took some time to work on yourself, and now you're coming back. But you started off as a designer. You know, with you dabbling between both spaces, who did you work with first, and does one give you more fulfillment over the other as far as fashion is concerned?
Oh, like who did I work with fashion? Well, I work with a lot of people. So, well, one of the first people I worked with, right, was, and this is not the first person, but one of the first is Heron Preston. So you guys know that he has the line, like the big fashion label now, right? You know, and that's
what's it called?
It's his name, Heron Preston.
Oh,
so,
nice. Okay.
Yeah. So he actually like gave me a start in with like designing when it came to like Nike and shit. Like he exposed me to like a bigger like platform of it because he let me design like these Nike sportswear jackets back then when they was doing like the team jackets and shit. And that was for ASAP actually when I designed that shit. So that was that. But
That's
yeah.
dope. So that was your first foray, like your first exposure into fashion, or you were doing independent things on your own?
I was known for fashion, so it was like that's why he grabbed me and you know, I remember over there and all that. You know, shout out to them too. So I mean, shout out to everybody because you know, it is what it is. But at the end of the day, I was really doing my own shit. I had founded a brand Merino, and I did that back in high school, and that kind of like traveled. You know, a lot of motherfuckers wear that shit now. I ain't got nothing to do with that shit now because I don't design it or do anything like that. You know, I don't want anything to do with it. But I founded a lot of shit out here. You know what I'm saying? Like, so a lot of shit that's going on, like, either I had a hand in it, I actually came up with it, or I sparked that shit within a nigga that got that shit done. Cause I could tell when it's my shit. You know what I'm saying? I could tell when you fucking with that formula. And when I really be sitting niggas down and telling them, like, yo, man, like, don't only keep, you know what I'm saying? Don't only run your mouth and shit. But it's like, I did a lot of shit, you know what I'm saying? So if I'm talking to one of my brothers, of course I'm going to tell my brothers what the fuck is going on. You know what I'm saying? I ain't going to be out here telling, that's how nobody don't really know because I don't talk. So it's like, hey, if this nigga, if I ain't get no credit for that shit or do anything like that, then I guess it's just fuck it. I just got to keep doing what I do and I can show I could do that same shit for myself because I got the Overworld merch. Along with Def Jam, we partner in to do like some merch, like a line called Overworld. So at the end of the day, that's gonna be dope, and I want to get that into like stores and everything like that. So it's gonna show. I just it's one thing.
Congrats on that. That's a dope. That's a dope collaboration.
Yeah, so that's gonna be crazy. I'm gonna make sure you got all that shit. You know what I'm saying? and not just like one piece of each one. Like deck you out. Like you gonna be straight. So
I love
like,
that.
oh,
I
shit.
Appreciate that. So does one give you more fulfillment over the other?
Music gives me more fulfillment because like I can really see like with designing, you can like make something and then like somebody can copy that shit so quick and come out with that shit and do this shit. You know, it's like it's not even just about copying though, but it's like a T-shirt is not like a performer or like a voice. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I like performing. I like seeing people interacting with people and shit. It's like it's not much you can do with the, when you make the clothes for somebody, they gonna put that shit on and go be the star. You know what I'm saying? So that's cool. I like that shit, but that's why I want to just do both. And but I want the music to always be at the forefront. You know what I'm saying?
At the forefront. Okay, I can see. So it's almost like fashion is like behind the scenes or behind the camera.
Yeah.
So music is like you in front of the camera. I gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
I gotcha.
Exactly. That kind of put it in perspective.
Right. Now, who influenced you on the music front? Who influenced you on the fashion front?
In the music, well, I'm gonna say the fashion first. The fashion, I was inspired by like Marc Jacobs and like I was inspired by like a lot of the high end fashion designers. Albert Abbas, that's the dude that's with he was with Lanvin, but he's not with them anymore.
I've seen his name. Yep.
Yeah, I like him. It's a few people. Like I like the old vintage Crystal Cross shit. I like shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Like the Raph and the Rick Owens and shit, that's cool to me, but it's like, I like the design of it, but they just, I don't know, like I ain't gonna, it's like, I just think that the more expressive shit from back then is what I really like, you know what I'm saying? So even when it comes, I could go on with the designers and the names and shit, but even because and I have to tell you, like, the designer I like from the time frame of when it was going on. Like, I can't
That
just
makes
say,
sense.
like, oh, I
Right.
fuck with Lou, you know what I'm saying? Because it's
Right.
like, the designers are changing, so it's like, I fuck with, like, my favorite, like, Louis now, when I say Louis Vuitton now, I'm thinking of Virgil, and I love Virgil, and he's the top. Like, ain't nobody fucking with him. I don't give a fuck from back then to now. But before him, I was fucking with when Marc Jacobs was designing that shit, because that shit was crazy. And that's what kind of made Ye be like, oh, you know what I'm saying? Or I don't know if it made him or he made Ye spark, you know what I'm saying? I don't know how to let that go, because like I said, it should be behind the scenes. You know, Ye is a legend, so I'm pretty sure Ye was like secretly designing a whole bunch of shit, and he didn't get credit for it. Yeah,
right. He said it
shit,
though.
Yo.
He
did.
It. I think he did. Like
see.
he had an apprenticeship way before he had his deal with Nike. He had an apprenticeship with either like a Gucci or someone high end, and he was designing things that no one really knew at the time. And then he got his Nike deal, and then he moved to Adidas.
Whoa.
I remember reading about that.
See, that's the goat right there, you know.
I know.
That motherfucker there is crazy. So.
I know.
And when I say it's crazy, I mean crazy fucking talented, because you know how people be stirring shit up.
Yeah,
like,
right.
Jay is the fucking man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, seriously. Okay, so now what about the music front? Who influenced you on the music front?
The music, yeah, like Kanye. You know what I'm saying? Kid Cudi. You know what I'm saying? Andre 3000, Tupac. You know what I'm saying? Biggie and Cameron, Dipset. You know, all of them.
Of course, Harlem World.
Live LOX, all that shit, like shit like that is what I would fuck with. Big L. You know what I'm saying? And 50 Cent. And then I started really fucking with like I fuck with Schoolboy Q and shit like that. And I fuck with who else I fuck with right now? I fuck with this nigga Peasy. I fuck with Peasy right now. I be listening to a lot of his shit.
But yeah, any of his stuff.
Yeah, Peasy dope for real. Peasy on that shit. But
well, you have a
fuck with all that Detroit shit.
Yeah, like you have an eclectic mix of influences,
I like
which
that
is dope.
Shit. And then I fuck with rock bands and shit like Cream and MGMT. I fuck with all that shit too. So the Chromatics and all that. All that's my shit. But early on, like my favorite rapper, I used to tell people my favorite rappers was Cameron and Kanye West, and then it was Kid Cudi. But when 50 was out, everybody was fucking with 50. That was the favorite.
Right,
you know what
same.
Everybody, motherfucker had a fucking video game, yo. I remember sneaking to play that shit. My mother was sleeping shit. Like, she wake up and scream. She just see this nigga 50 Cent. She probably like, what the fuck is this nigga doing to my kids? Like
that first album was something, yo.
I had
my
G
God.
Units. Shit was real. I had the G Units, yo.
He had a moment. He definitely had a moment in time. I mean, he has a different moment in time now, but when he first came out,
nigga had a video game, yo.
I don't remember that. That's the funny thing. I remember the video game. That's funny.
Yeah, nigga. He had commercials for it and all that, like real promo press, all that.
Now you're gonna
shit.
have me go on Google and look that stuff up.
I just gotta buy that. I'm ready to buy that shit again. That shit was crazy. That shit was like Grand Theft Auto G-Unit.
That's crazy. He definitely did. A lot of people have. I love the fact that with music and artists, you have to branch out and you have to do more than one thing. You know what I mean?
That's what I want to do.
The days are gone, long gone. The days of just I'm an artist, developing, dropping albums. Like you're not even making money with that stuff anymore. You know? And so, with your fashion, do you see yourself doing more? So you have the collaboration. Is Fashion Week on the menu? A capsule collection?
Yeah, all of that. I'm gonna collab with like a few different brands. Like I'm always open to like, you know, collab, and you know, anytime I gotta turn that on, I'm ready to turn that on. But I just wanna like, you know, it's either I'm gonna collab with them with myself, like it'll be like some Dominic Lord shit or it'll be some overworld shit, you know what I'm saying? Like we can do both, but I definitely want to participate in all that, and Fashion Week, all that. I'm gonna do that. I got a lot of friends on my, you know, the designers. I'm real cool with them, so it's definitely gonna get there, and I definitely want to work with brands, and I'll even like, you know, creative direct one of these brands out here that, you know.
I love that.
I can even revive a few, you know, so it's all good. I know what the fuck to do.
What y'all think this is?
Yeah, this shit is real. So, but I want to definitely make sure that everybody know like that EP is coming. You know what I'm saying? Like we got to do
took
Def
the next
Jam.
question out of my mouth.
Shout out to
current projects.
Yeah, we doing this shit.
Tell us about your current projects, what you're working on, how they can find you.
The next, you can find me right now. You know, first I'm gonna shout out the Undisputed project because that's what we doing right now. So Def Jam dropped the compilation, so you could check out Diamond Boo and that's my record, Diamond Boo, and then I got the Parade record on there featuring Rich the Kid. But then next I'm gonna drop the EP. My EP is gonna be called Harlem World, so you could check that out when that come out. That shit gonna have nothing but bangers on it. And then, some visuals. Some visuals is coming and shit like that. And more fire. Like I don't want to talk too much about the shit, but
of course,
I got a remix to Diamond Boo already done, so that shit gonna drop too. And a lot of shit is coming out. So get ready. Like I said, that EP is coming.
Okay.
That's what's gonna wake everybody up, and then I'm gonna drop another project after that. I'm gonna just keep them coming. You know what I mean?
I feel like it's Dominic Lord 2.0 plus fashion. Okay.
That's right. It's coming.
Yes,
Music
listen.
For itself.
Listen. If you ever need a model for Fashion Week, because I know you're gonna get there.
I need you.
See it. Holler at me, okay? Please.
Yeah, I definitely.
I love it.
What's your Instagram?
Yeah, Georgette Star with 2 R's, GEOR, GETTE. Yep.
Okay.
But no, I wish you the best with everything, and
I'm definitely coming to see y'all.
Yeah, we're down here.
Y'all.
Yeah,
I ain't doing nothing but making some music right now. Actually, you know what I'm saying? So
listen, you gotta do what you gotta do. I appreciate you so much, Dominic. Thank you, and I can't wait to hear your new stuff.
All right, you already know. I'll see y'all soon. Thank y'all.
Okay, have a good one. All right.
Peace.
Appreciate his time. He's super dope. Thank you.
Dope.
Shout out to Def Jam. Shout out to Jay. Shout out to EP. All those people over there for, and shout out to Dom, of course, for his time and allowing me to interview him.
Just saying, next time when they're in the city, they need to slide by.
I know.
I'd love to meet them.
You're right.
Sounds really cool.
I like the studio space here, because when I was podcasting in New York, I would use the conference room of the company I used to work for. So there was definitely no calling capabilities. Like, you rather there with me, or you weren't.
There you go.
Or you weren't.
Look at the upgrade.
Listen. Okay, so Toine, this episode I really wanted to focus on celebrating us, and there's so many different things that's been going on. And then I also want to talk about how we're both content creators and some things that are going on in our world and just really pushing through and staying motivated and elevated. So the first thing, and again, a lot of these stories you all already heard last week, but we just wanted to add our take to it. So for the first time, drum roll please, Miss America, Miss USA, and Miss Teen USA are all black
girl
women.
magic.
Oh my gosh. Now, I stopped keeping up with these pageants, right? But I at least want to, shout their names out. If my shit stops acting up. Okay, here we go. So I at least want to shout their names out. Miss USA works on behalf of prisoners. Her name is Chris.
Hey, Chris.
What's her full name, though? It's not saying. So Chesley Christ was named 2019's Miss USA. She became part of a historic trio. 2019 Miss Teen USA is Kaylee Garris, and Miss America Nia Franklin. So for Miss USA, Chesley Christ, Chesley, like Leslie, Chesley Christ is a 28-year-old attorney with a mission to help reform America's justice system. She basically...
Kim Kardashian who?
Don't you do it.
Okay.
She practices civil litigation for a law firm and has a passion for helping prisoners who have been sentenced unjustly get reduced punishments, and she does that free of charge.
Exactly.
That's dope. So she got her law and MBA from Wake Forest University, completed her undergrad at the University of South Carolina. So these are just top-line things we're going through. Miss Teen USA, she got the fro and the curly hair goings on. Her name is Kaylee Garris.
Hey, Kaylee. How you doing?
You're so hilarious. So she went through the whole motions of everyone wanting her to wear her straight hair, but she said she always felt confident with her curly hair. She's working to fight against beauty standards, suggesting that straight hair is better than her natural curls. She ignored all the criticism, and she won Miss Connecticut Teen USA, and then obviously she won Miss Teen USA. And then Miss America, Miss Nia Franklin.
Franklin. Now that's a whole black name in itself.
Nia. I wanted to name my first daughter Nia, because I was like, I loved Nia Long. That's my girl crush from Love Jones. Ooh, That's my movie, honey.
Let me find out.
Yes, I know. Nia, I had all these names. I don't know where they went. I forgot all about them. Clearly, I still don't have children yet. So, anywho. So, Nia Franklin is working with a nonprofit group called Sing for Hope to help others through their power of music. She actually sung a song. I don't know if it was an opera song, but she blew them away. And so she became Miss America. She's only 23.
Well, that's what's up.
Mm-hmm. So let's get into these other topics about celebrating us, Toine. Wait, you have your laptop up?
I do.
Hold on.
But I just want to say, go
ahead.
Just in where we are now as a culture, it's still shocking to me, and I've been around for 31 years. That this can be the first in history for anything.
Historic trio.
You know what I'm saying?
It doesn't surprise me.
But it's lovely. It doesn't surprise me, but it still shocks me. So
does it?
It does. Because
okay.
Even like if you think about Beyonce being the first African American female to headline Coachella.
Yeah.
I would have never thought that.
Yeah.
But
no, that's a good point.
It's like so many black women have paved the way. There's been so many black women, whether it's running for Miss America, Miss Teen USA. I just sometimes I get in awe. Like, really?
That
it's 2019 and this is the first time in history.
But think about who's judging these competitions.
Exactly.
I'm just, I didn't say no names, I didn't say nothing. I just said look who's judging these competitions.
But it feels good, and I'm all about women empowerment, and I'm a feminist at heart, so it feels good to see this. So go girls, girl power.
Well, speaking of women empowerment, Regina King,
to die for. I've been riding her since 227. I've been there, and just the glow up has been real. And I'm still mad at Netflix because I need a season 2.
Well, tell them
7 seconds.
Tell them I haven't watched that. Tell them what's going on with Regina King and Netflix.
So she just signed a deal. I think this is her first deal with Netflix, like on the production side.
Yep,
right?
her first look, multi-year deal. Yep. I didn't watch her in 227. What have I watched her in?
I've seen her in 227. She played.
She's done so much.
She's done a lot.
Yeah, her first look.
She was in a cop show. She did. I don't know if it was like CSI or something like that. She did something, but she's been on the block for a very long time, and within the last 2 years or so, she's just really been out there. And that, like, even watching her reminds me that although I want it to happen tomorrow, I still gotta work hard. I gotta work hard for it.
Yeah.
Like, I might not be able to get on the stage and say thank you so much to all of my people until 2026 or something like that. But I've gotta work just as hard in 2019. You know what I'm saying?
It's gonna happen.
Regina's she's really been showing me that, hey, it can happen, it will happen, but if you want it, you gotta keep working for it. Even if you don't get it. So if I don't get it in 2019, I still gotta work hard to get to 2020. If I don't get it in 2020, I gotta work extra hard to make it to 2020. I just gotta keep fighting, and Regina King has been showing me that, so I just want to put that out there.
That's a great point, and I definitely want to delve more into that because I even try to sometimes fathom, like, what does that look like? What the evolution of me doing what I want to do, and so she'll be producing films and television series,
and she wants to work with a certain percentage of women. Like, she wants to have
I don't blame
a
her.
lot of women on her board, on her team. So I can't
do not
be mad
blame
at
her. Her name, the name of her company is called Royal Ties.
See.
Yes.
And speaking of Royal Ties, quick shout out to Meghan and Harry.
By the time they hear this podcast, yes, the baby of Sussex.
Oh, it's the royal baby, yes.
Baby boy.
Aww. I think, Meghan was in like labor for like 5 minutes.
You think so?
I really think so. I saw the tweet come out at 9 o'clock. Yeah. And like 9:05, I saw you posted up
that the baby boy.
That the baby was
Well, I had changed it, and so again, as y'all are hearing this was recorded a week ago, but when I posted it was like, oh, she's currently in labor. The announcement will come soon. Right before I left, something popped up on the computer.
Right before you press enter.
Yes! I actually sent it already.
See what I'm saying?
And then I had to go back and edit it, which was so funny. But back to Regina, she won an Oscar for Best Supporting Actress in If Beale Street Could Talk, and then she took home an Emmy for her role in Netflix's limited series 7 Seconds, and you were talking about that. I haven't seen that.
I need a second season.
I need to watch that.
Oh my God.
What is it about?
So basically, it is about the typical, like, what we deal with. A white cop ended up killing her black son and tried to cover it up.
Oh, I think I remember reading about that. Okay.
It was so good.
Interesting.
And her son happened, through his death, they found out that the son was gay, and the father didn't accept it, and he had problems with it.
It's almost like they're working the story back, like uncovering things, like So basically, boom, this is the issue, but they're not like, okay, what would have led to his murder? Is that what it's?
Yes. So they figured out where he was coming from. At the time, he's coming from his boyfriend's house, who happened to be a drug dealer. I mean, it's like really, really, really good.
Interesting.
And, it's about 7 or 8 episodes, and it leaves you.
What the hell is going to happen?
Like, what the hell?
Now you know Netflix is going to bring it back, but now that she's working on some different things,
they need to, because this has been.
I wonder where this is going to go.
Please, Netflix, 7 Seconds season 2.
4 or 5 seconds.
Please. Come on. Is that Avant?
No, that's Rihanna, Kanye, and Paul McCartney.
Oh, the country one. Yes. Okay, sorry.
Well, less country, but yes. To your point, it's less pop than what Rihanna was normally.
There you go.
4 or 5 seconds.
But the guy's a country singer, right?
Who?
The guy that was on there with them he's a country
Paul
singer?
McCartney?
No.
From the Beatles.
Okay. Get it together. Listen, by the time you guys hear this, I'll probably be back at work. I'm on vacation right now. My brain is there.
I'm not mad. Listen. Self-care, Toine. As you sit back in them damn shades. Okay. The Obamas. Netflix.
My forever first family.
Yes, I am forever with you about that. They, again, this is not new news, but just, we got to celebrate us, because there's always a lot of shit happening that's not necessarily uplifting.
Yes.
So
it feels good when the positivity
yeah,
starts through, right?
and so they are, they revealed their slate. They have shows and films coming out on Netflix. Their company is called Higher Ground Productions, and they have 7 projects coming out on Netflix.
And I love Netflix for even partnering up with them.
Mm-hmm.
And I love the fact that
it was a smart move to nab them.
What? And they played it really smart. Because they had another heavy hitter too. They had Beyonce. And
I was gonna say Beyonce's on there.
What she do,
but she hasn't.
And got her out the way.
But Dave Chappelle had like a 3-part where they paid him $60 million. I think Beyonce got a similar deal allegedly.
Yes.
So Homecoming's out the way, which I still have to watch. And then she has 2 more stuff. I'm curious if they're going to be concert series or if she's going to actually allow it to be something else that's not necessarily tied to her mainly. You know what I mean?
But it's just, I don't know, like, Netflix is really doing some stuff. Like,
they are. Because she didn't go back to HBO, and that's where Lemonade was.
Yes. Maybe they still have a little bit more money for Monique, but that's not why we're here today.
Ooh, that shade. I can't. That little...
I'm just saying, they putting all this money. I mean, I'm just saying, but... The fact that they're rolling out with the Obamas is really big, and it made me think, like, hey, they are human, and they still would have to work to live out here in this world. Because I'm thinking, after the presidency, like, what do you do?
Book deals. They literally, if at this point, they're business ventures. That's the only thing I see. They're not going to have a regular job, but what they could do is do public servant work. They're still staying involved.
It's going to be, and listen, I'm standing here first on the Black Nuance podcast. I cannot wait for the day that I actually meet the Obamas. I'm going to meet them.
Oh yeah, I want to work with them,
and it's going to be big. I don't want to work with them because that'll be too much on my mental. But just to meet them will be enough for me.
I want to helm a project under their company.
Now, see, in that sense, I don't want to work for them.
Oh no, that's what I mean. I want to work with them. Under their production company.
Just even have them on the show would be great. So,
listen,
I look forward to it.
Asking you shall receive.
Yes, and it's out in the universe. So I said it here first. Years from now, I'll be able to come back to this and say, "See, Mr. Obama, I said it here with my friend Georgette, and Georgette's going to be on a whole nother island.
We're going to be on the same plane of doing our thing,
and it's going to be really good. So.
I look forward to it." Last triple, I feel like we hit like all cylinders. So we got the 3 content creators celebrating us, and then we got the 3 historic move with the pageantry going on. So the last one is ABC Order's Blackish prequel called Mixed-ish.
Yes.
It's going to be starring Tika Sumpter.
Who I love.
And they renewed Blackish for season 6. I'm still behind. You know what, to be honest, Grownish, I can sit and binge. Like, I'm like, because I
actually caught Blackish by accident.
Did you? I didn't like the name initially. Okay.
And I think I was there with you when it first came out. I remember when Blackish was first,
because there was like
at the market.
Yeah, because the name was like.
Yeah, it was kind of made me. And I remember they were doing a press. They were doing a press tour when it first came out, and they would send some of the episodes to the radio station for us to view them before they actually aired. And the first episode I really couldn't get into.
Okay.
But
golly, it's been.
I caught it by accident on BET one day, and I actually like it, but Grownish is really a good show.
Grownish is. I felt like going back in my college days.
Yes, it's a really good show.
And I can relate to all of that stuff. And so Blackish, I'm walking, but when Grownish drops new episodes, I'm running.
There you go. And Mixed-ish, I think would be good because I'm not really really too familiar with the whole culture of it.
But, so I'm gonna tell you what it is. So basically, Mixed-ish is Rainbow's Rainbow Johnson, the wife, Tracy Ellis Ross.
That's just the name.
Yeah, okay, recounts her experience growing up in a mixed race family in the 80s and the constant dilemmas they had to face over whether to assimilate or stay true to themselves. Okay, now I have to hear what the fuck you thought Mixed-ish was when you first heard it.
Well, not for nothing, and I hope, because sometimes I can be extremely ignorant when it comes to certain things. When I heard Mixed-ish, I was thinking there was going to be some kind of Spanish family intertwining with maybe a black family or something like. I thought they were like mixing up some kind of cultures or something.
Mixed-ish. Yeah, what was it?
Yeah, but when you said Tika Sumter, I'm like.
Yeah, because I was like, who does she play? Because if they're talking about
black. Right. So that even made my speculation even go up a little higher. I'm like,
I mean, she's chocolate, right? She's chocolate. So I was like, who is she playing? I forgot what they said they played.
A school teacher.
No, because she's starring.
She's starring in it.
Right. Hold on.
Also, she's dating because I think she's actually dating or married or has a baby from a white man.
It says Tika Sumter as Alicia Johnson. Is that her mother? See, now I'm confused. I don't know who Alicia is. Arika Himmel is playing Bo. Tika is playing Alicia. Yeah, because the father's white. But the mother that came into the series under Blackish is super light-skinned.
Yes.
But it wouldn't make sense for a Tika or someone of her complexion for...
I get what you're saying. Maybe her daughter or something play her.
No. So I think it makes sense for Tika's mom to be darker skinned than fair skinned. Does that make any sense? Black and white. So a black woman having children with a white man.
With a white man.
The child usually comes out in the complexion of
the mama, right?
No.
Well, no, more so the dad. Well, right. Well, I don't know. Well, because let me see. I have a black uncle who has 3 kids from a white woman, but most of them they have a Spanish complexion, not Spanish complexion.
They fare more lighter skin. Doesn't matter. Usually, the dark skinned
comes with light
parents. Well, it's usually the mother with a lighter skinned father, or if it's a white man. I know someone who she's black. I don't
know that many black women with
she's
kids
married
from a white
to
man.
I do.
I've never known a white man, but
you about to say something?
Yeah, never mind.
I'm trying to make sense of Tika Sumter's role. I think Alicia is her mom. But I guess where I'm confused is if they're trying to match it, the mom has come off as light-skinned, coming into blackish.
I get what you're saying.
Mixed-ish. Is she dark-skinned all of a sudden?
Right.
She hasn't changed.
To make sense.
Yeah. Right. Okay. So, getting into us, we are content creators. I found out a week ago because of when they hear this podcast that I won an Emmy.
Congratulations!
I won an Emmy, Toine.
Oh wow!
Thank you. I won an Emmy, and I'm not saying it because like, oh my gosh, I won a fucking Emmy. I'm dope.
But you won a fucking Emmy. You're dope.
Thank you. You're so silly. But it blew my mind because I worked in TV production before coming down and doing radio, and I know I'm going to work my way back to TV. That's just what's calling me. And I worked at Nickelodeon, and we worked on this campaign called for Black History Month last year. And one of the quotes that I use for Monday Motivation is, in the midst of a storm, you have to dream bigger. When I got that Emmy, I would have never even attempted to go down the trajectory of EGOT status. Have you heard of EGOT status?
Yes.
So for those that don't know, EGOT status is Emmy, Grammy, Oscar, Tony, that you have one of each category. John Legend has one. Whoopi has one, and I don't know who else.
But there's one more person.
Yeah, but John Legend is recent, right?
Yes.
So Tony's are theater, Oscar's film.
Yes.
Emmy's daytime television, Grammy's music.
Oh, so that means I'm going to be getting an Emmy soon.
Right. Oh. Work towards an Emmy, right? But the how is not up to you to decide like how it's going to happen. Collaborations with anybody that's working on something that it happens to win. So my boss/mentor is so dope to him because what she did was she always caped for me, even at times when I wasn't even sure of myself when it came to certain things.
That's good.
And she made sure, when people win Emmys, they list everybody out. The director, the creative,
the team.
The whole team, and she made sure she intentionally listed me to make sure that I got credit for my work on it. I say all that to say that sometimes this road of creating content, sometimes going down this road can be weary. And what made you start Toine 360? How did you get into it? What are your thoughts about even being consistent in building a following?
Well, I was in radio. I'm still in radio, so to speak. But I've been at that time I was around for about 12, 13 years, and I just felt like I was at a dead end. Like there was nothing else that I could do radio wise. Social media played a big part in radio personalities. They're not just radio personalities anymore. Like they want to be listeners want to see your face. They want to know your thoughts. Right. They don't want to just hear you go into that song. They don't want to just, be able to win tickets. If something pops off in the streets, damn, I just went straight to the street. If something pops off in the street, they're not just coming to you for the music anymore. So I was just at a place where I felt like I had been put in a box, and that box literally had constrained me, and there was nothing else that I can do. And I just felt like at one point I was just going to walk away from radio as a whole because it really wasn't doing anything for me.
Put you in a box how?
Just put me in a box, like limit me to only being able to create flyers, or only being able to limit me to being able to post on social media, only limiting me to being a board operator. Like just put me in a box, and it's like I'm so much more than that. You know what I'm saying? And I never made myself feel like I was much more than that. It was the people. You get what I'm saying? So, and I'm for the people, and I'm of the people, and I'm in these streets with the people. So, when people often see me out, they'll ask me, "Man, I see you wilding out on Facebook. What you think about such and such?" Or I see you posted this on Instagram. What you think about such and such? So I took all of that and I said, I've got to get my face out there. Because people know who I am, but they don't see me often.
Right. Did they know you from being on air previously?
Previously, they knew, but they just didn't. There was no connection. So I kept praying. I kept saying, God, I want to do something. I want to do something out of the norm. Like I need something to make me stand out, because the radio station is not doing it for me anymore. I'm at a dead end. I'm at a crossroad. Like what do I do? Do I stay on this side of the street and continue to feel this way, or do I cross the street and take a chance on whatever it is that I'm praying for? Because although I'm praying for it and I'm expecting him to just drop it on my lap, that's not how it works. I have to literally cross the street in order to get it. So I let a few cars pass by. I looked left and right. I let a few cars pass by, and I decided, hey, I'm just gonna cross the street while this road is clear. And once I cross the other side,
it's an analogy, people. It's an analogy.
Just an analogy. So once I crossed over, that's when everything came about. Like the first thing I picked up was Toine 360, and I didn't understand what it meant.
Oh, interesting.
Like I had no drawing board, I had no vision board, I had no notepad. Like
it makes me think about Erykah Badu. 2, 1, 2,
literally,
3.
Right? So I'm just like, a Toine 360. What does this mean? What does it mean? 360. What does it mean? And I just started saying it. Toine 360. And I've always wanted to be, believe it or not, I always wanted to be a news reporter.
Okay.
I always wanted to be like a news anchor. You
created that on your own.
Yes, I always wanted to be a news anchor. So I just started saying, hey, this is, Toine 360. Don't miss it on Toine 360. And one day I got on my computer and I made a logo. And I'm like, oh snap, I like this. And it was just so weird, G. It was like I had like everything that you're supposed to do after the fact, I had done it before. I found the name, picked the name up, created the logo, didn't even have a website. And
technically, no, you could do it in any order. You having all that stuff is good. Most people didn't.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Or don't.
So I remember it like yesterday. I said, Monday, January 8th, we're going live. And I had no lights. I had no table to sit behind, no chair to sit on, no graphics to put on the screen. And I just said, you know what? We're going live. And that day, I worked all day. I tried to pre-record stuff, do this, and it didn't work. So about 8 o'clock that night, I felt so defeated. I'm like, oh my gosh, guys, I'm so sorry. This, that, and the third. And I was on vacation that week, so I took it upon myself the next day. I'm always on vacation. I am. How y'all doing? So that Tuesday, which would have been January 9th, I went live. And that very first show was...
When was this?
This was January 9th, 2018.
Okay.
And my very first show was very messy, but it was cool. We talked about Grammy predictions, and then just some of the things that were going on in Hot Topics. And the question of the night was, why do men cheat? And people often accuse me of being a feminist, or taking the women's side of whatever it is. So
why? So just because you have a penis, you're not supposed to defend women? Right. I don't understand.
People,
by default?
Yes, I'm just supposed to be roll with the bros.
Right.
Hoes before bros. Not that I'm calling anybody a hoe, but that's
right. But if you disagree with someone, you disagree.
You disagree and call it a day.
Right.
But that's how that started, and here we are, almost a year and a half later, and we've been rolling. But it hasn't been an easy road. And I was just talking to you about that, and I feel like I'm just talking right now. Am I answering your question? Okay, cool. Even talking to you, I'm considering this like a promo run. You know what I'm saying? I'm here on Black Nuance, and I'll be talking to some other people as well. So I'm like, do I want to do all this today and do the show tonight? I'm like, oh, I need a break. But in the same sense, it's like...
I would say, what would Ricky do?
Right. And I think of people like that. And
Ricky,
like,
he'll take some time for himself, though.
Yes. He's like, hey, man, your mind got to be right. If you ain't good, how you expect, you know what I'm saying? How you expect to, to be good for the people? So
I know.
Like, in the same sense, it's like, I know what my people expect every Monday. They expect for me to come through, but they don't understand like that Tuesday through Friday is hell and high water, and then we roll right into the weekend.
Beyonce also has a fucking fan base of over 100 million on Instagram. Do you think she's studying what those 100 million people need from her?
At all. She only...
Toine.
You come on and preach to me, Georgette.
Toine.
Come on, because she doesn't.
She has 3 children.
Yes.
A husband.
Very much.
A life.
Yes.
A career that she has built. I could see her retiring soon because she's done so much.
She's done, yes.
Like I can see
everything that she does now is added value.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying?
So you're over here like and it's not knocking the people that want Toine, but Toine needs time for
Toine. I get it, right? All right, so tonight, guys, I'll be off. By the time you guys hear this, I would have already taken the night off. I'll be back next Monday, I promise.
Done. There's that. Yeah, I mean, you inspire me. Like, Toine, I want to do something as consistent as you're doing it. Do you use the ring light?
No, I have about 7 lights that are on me. So if you watch the shows, oftentimes...
Is there a green screen? What is going on? Like, you have like a Toine 360?
No, so I literally have... when I first started off, I had the city of New York behind me. The city of New York was behind me.
You better act like you up there.
Listen, and people, like, just the production of it, like, all of it made sense. And people were just, like, blown out of the water. And because, I don't know, like, I just didn't think that much of it. I'm like, okay, I just want a nice little backdrop. I want to be able to have a table in front of me. I want to have a computer to the left and my chair and my TV for my graphics, and then let's go. People fell in love with the background, so I often switch up the background. So now I have a blue city behind me. I don't know what city it is, but it's like a beautiful blue backdrop, and it literally sits behind me, and I have like 7 hot lights that are on me for like an hour and 20 minutes every Monday night. But it's cool.
Interesting. It's
really cool. So yeah. I spend all of my Monday planning for Monday night. Between Saturday morning and Saturday night, a lot of my thoughts for that Monday comes into play. Like, what am I going to talk about on the show? Am I going to be conversational? Am I going to be controversial? Am I going to say something that's going to make people just maybe be mad at me? Because I'll be real, people get mad at me on one Monday, and then they'll miss the next Monday on purpose, but the following Monday they right back with the same foolishness. Because oftentimes people only rock with you when they're agreeing with if you're agreeing with them, they're all for it.
When you're not.
If you say something out of the way that's like, really, Toine? So they'll go away, and then they'll question themselves, like, I don't even know why I even listen to this nigga anyways. I don't even know I watch this bitch anyways. But,
this bitch, golly.
So the next Monday, they talk to me any kind of way. They do, but I love them. But the following Monday, they're right back in my corner, and they're waiting for, what this nigga about to say today. I'm just saying.
They want more. You know what? So you're better than me because... I remember when I wrote for VH1.com, they always told me the term, like, don't read beneath the line. Do you know what that means? Basically, don't read the comments.
Read the comments.
Mm-hmm.
I have a problem with that. Mm-hmm. And I think my problem is because...
Well, like, meaning reading the comments?
I want to know what you're feeling. I want to know how you feel. Like, am I doing you justice? Am I living up to the hype? Have I lived up to...
Fuck that.
But in the same sense, I have to put myself back in put myself back into it. I'm like, man, whatever. Fuck that. You know what I'm saying? And just, I gotta keep doing me, because if I, like, water down my lemonade for you, my friends is not gonna get all the sweetness that I got for them.
Right.
Because I just watered it down because you want me to water it down.
Right.
But this lemonade is 100% concentrate, and it's sweet and it's pure. And
as he's
if I'm going to pour this into your cup, I want you to get the same taste that I'm pouring. You know what I'm saying?
But you don't get to decide that because everyone's taste buds are different.
That too. That's why people are... I just love everybody.
Yeah.
How about that?
That's funny. Yeah, no, I have an idea for something that I wanted to do, but what I would do is I would come up with this super produced idea, and execute, right? Because I worked in TV production.
Yes.
So my mind is actually like, no, it should look like this. We should have this many hard drives, this many cameras, this. And so it's slower for me.
Yes, I get it.
To get started.
And that was really one of my issues, because I kept saying in my prayer, I'm like, I need to do something that makes me stand out. And it was like the answer kept coming back. It was just like, just go. Just start.
Yep.
Just start. Just go. Your first episode is going to be trash, but go. The first podcast is not going to sound good, but go. You're going to have technical difficulties, but go. And it's just like,
I like
things
that.
didn't happen until I actually got up and went to go see what it was that it was. But now that I picked it up, it's still go time.
I like that.
You know what I'm
like
saying?
that.
So the consistency comes with everyone. Like a lot of it goes with it. Like the support has been real. People have been receiving it, so that keeps me going. And because I want it for myself. And because I know I've seen the vision and I know what it could possibly be and I know what it will be, I can't give up. I can't give up the fight. And oftentimes I feel like when I get complacent, even with the show, when I get into a place where I'm like, okay, I'm good. This Monday I had a great show this Monday. Let me just wait for the next Monday. God always keeps fire under me. And it's like, okay, you're not good. What am I saying? Every time that I think I'm good, God sends a reminder like, nah, boy, you got to keep fighting. You have to keep fighting. And I say that to say, I got to a place where I'm like, okay, if a story happens, I'm going to blog it, I'm going to put it up, and I'm going to make sure it's on the website, I'm going to make sure it's on social media, and then I'm going to call it a day. And like I had the system down packed. Then God sent a boss from somewhere. I don't know where she came from, but when she came, it destroyed everything that I was working on. And it was like...
Or you felt like it did.
I felt like it did.
Right.
I'll take that back. I felt like it did. And then that was God's reminder of saying, all right, dude, I gave you what you're looking for. You've got it. Now you don't got too cool for school. Now you got to fight for it. So I found myself fighting for it day and night, fighting.
It was like you almost went cross-eyed, like looking at the mic, like, oh my God.
I felt like I was talking to somebody.
Right, like you went in just now.
I fought myself fighting for it, and now now that I fought. Once I got to the storm, I looked at the storm and I was like, Jesus, are you sure that this storm is for me? He was like, yep, it's for you. So as I went through it, I had to keep fighting, and I came out of it fighting. And I went through a whole nother storm fighting, and I got hit coming out of this fight. But I'm not letting this hit affect me.
But you didn't get knocked down.
I didn't get knocked down.
Yep.
Last time I'll be honest, I got knocked down, but I got up. This time I just got hit. And I didn't allow this hit to knock me down.
Come on, Thanos.
So
Let me stop.
Good. I'm good. So
yeah.
I understand this test, and this test is just pushing me closer to my testimony. And I'm standing here on Black Nuance first. There will be a time, and I pray to God, and I pray I'm not rushing it, but I pray to God that it's in 2019, where I can not only close some doors in my life, because oftentimes people only move when doors shut. This year, I'm going to be able to shut some doors myself. I want to be able to close some doors. But before I close them, I want to say thank you so much. And I just want to remind you that the next time I come to this door, you'll be opening it for me. I won't even have to touch it. I'll walk in and walk back out, just as gracefully as I'm shutting it right now. You get what I'm saying? So
I love that.
That's where I'm at.
But that's a great perspective to have. You're gonna have to get me right, Toine, on me really executing some stuff. You know, I got some things out there. I mean, Dear Georgette on YouTube, and Georgette After Dark is the one that was super, super, super produced, and I did that.
And I'm familiar with all of your work. Even before you got here, I was
really.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, really?
100%. Ask about me. Ask about me.
Ask about me. Oh my gosh, no.
I mean, you were a Leo and all that good stuff. Yes, I was familiar with your work.
Yeah, no, I mean, like, I'm not thinking anyone's thinking about me like that. Like, I'm coming down, I'm like this, that, and the third, but I want to really build with Toine and some other people that are out here content creating, because I just feel like with the force, I mean, it's awesome, like the Infinity Stones for those that were into Avengers. When you combine all of the people that are so talented, you just get this force, and so we'll definitely keep building. Yeah, so I'm excited about that. Yeah, but Georgette After Dark, I really want to release. There's some pilot episodes. It's just basically my own. So since you had the idea of wanting to be a news anchor, I had this idea of wanting to be the next Chelsea Handler, not in the sense of like who Chelsea Handler is as a comedian,
right.
But she had her talk show and she moved it to Netflix, and I was like, oh man, like I'm gonna do this.
Do it.
And so I did 3 pilot episodes with 3 people that work in the entertainment industry, and was a sit down. And the aspect was they're friends, but I'll be able to pull out a little bit more from them. And so my goal is to shoot some more episodes and really, really launch it and bring it out this year. So I am with you, Toine. Okay, so we're gonna end it off real quick on all of the things segment. Okay, so Toine, real quick, let's talk about our psychic experience. That's not something I really thought about. Like, so Toine and I talked to a psychic a couple of weeks ago, but Toine, you've talked to him prior too. Oh, well, that too.
He talked to me.
I don't know, people have some qualms about psychics, but I was at work on a Sunday, and they were like, yeah, there's a psychic upstairs if you want to come up for one of the stations. I was like, okay, cool, let me see what's up, because, you know, I had a lot of questions in my mind that I'm not going to share on this podcast, but I just had some questions. And he was like, yeah, that's going to happen.
Right.
You just got to let it go and stop worrying about everything. And I was like, And some of the stuff I was like, it sounds general, and then there was something else he said. I was like, wait a minute.
There's no way that
I was like, oh, okay, well maybe this might be a thing. But I was like, and I forgot to ask him about my damn apartment. I was like, shit, am I going to renew my lease? When I walked away, I only really care. I was like, am I,
Yeah, and so not to even rush through the conversation, but as I was leaving, we literally parked right next to each other, which I thought was even more.
You and the psychic,
yes, we parked next to each other, and he said some things about where we were at the time, and I'm like,
about who were?
The place where we were.
Oh,
I don't know if you mentioned where we were.
Oh, no, I don't ever mention it. Okay, so he talked about our workplace. What did he say?
So he said...
Shit, you didn't tell me that!
Yeah, I said on the record. He said, and he made it very clear to me, that is just a platform for me.
Yep.
He said that this is just a platform.
This is not your final chapter.
This is not. And he also said the opportunity that you're working for, you know, that you're working towards is not going to happen for you here. So I'm like, are you serious? He's like, yeah. And then that's when he said, this is just a platform for you. Mm-hmm. They're not going to give you what you're looking for. Mm-hmm. And when he said that, I'm like, what?
But from our conversations that we've had, you already know. Like,
yes, I know that. And he said, you can be here till you're 65. Not that you're going to be here till you're 65, but you're going to be...
Till your face turns blue.
You're going to be sitting here waiting for an opportunity that is never going to come from here. So he's like... So I'm like, so what does that mean? So he says, just keep doing what you're doing with Toine 360.
Yep.
And it will happen. And he keeps telling me that I'm going to take over for Wendy Williams. And I'm like... Oh, I know. But why Wendy? Like, why Wendy? I mean, I get it.
You have manifested and talked about this woman since the day I met you.
Yes. I'm just thinking...
I think she's going to step out of the light soonish. And soonish could be a year... Tom Joyner's retiring.
Yes.
I mean, think about these people.
It's about to be a new wave.
Like, she might want to do something different or just take some time for herself.
Yeah, it's going to be a whole new wave that's happening. But I get it, but I just don't want to move to New York or a place like that. But I do think when the time comes...
You don't want to move to New York, period? Or you're just saying, like, without on a whim?
I probably have to. Like, I probably have to live in a few different cities to know exactly where I want to be. But the thing that we're missing down here in South Florida is that live TV experience. Like, you've got TV shows in the Rockefeller Center.
So you want it to happen down
here. Like, we have a downtown Fort Lauderdale area. We have a beautiful downtown Miami area. But we don't have that experience where when you can go to New York, you can go to The View, you can go to Rachel Ray, you can go to Wendy Williams, you can go to LA and go to Jimmy Kimmel. You can go to these different... But Fort Lauderdale and Miami are beautiful destination cities, and we don't have that experience. So I think that...
But I think it's how people look at... You just call them destination cities.
Mm-hmm.
People call
like New York's a destination city. No? I think because you're... Like, maybe because you're from New York, like...
Well, I'm not from there, but I spent time there.
You spent most of your time. I consider you from New York.
I know, 7.5 years. But the way I see Miami and South Florida is... vacation.
Yes.
People don't come down here and film. People don't come down here and really... They look at Miami market as a Latin American market.
I get what you're saying. Like,
you know, it's New York, it's LA, but if we're going to do an office in Miami, it's towards the Latin American market. Literally.
And so Telemundo and all of them, they have
Univision.
They have their TV shows and their sets based here. Yeah, but for the culture, so you get what I'm saying.
You want to turn up, but don't block you having to go somewhere else.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I know for a fact,
to see some things.
I'm definitely gonna have to get out. I'm gonna have to get away from home.
Like, you could build it. You're building it here, and then, but to turn Toine 360 up, that may need to live
in
or be done in
or LA.
Or just like another major city, Atlanta or something.
A few years
and then you come back.
I'm moving the show.
And you expand, right? You know, Ricky is based in Atlanta, but
he's all over the place.
He's syndicated. Tom Joyner was based in Dallas, but he's syndicated, right? And so I think...
I can't wait for that moment. Yeah. I just have to pull it down because, Georgia, I get really excited about it.
There's nothing wrong with that. I think what I'm...
And I can see things and I can hear things, like... I can
trust that internal compass.
See myself on the set of my show saying, thanking my audience that have came in for so many years, and it's just like, I have this wonderful opportunity to move Toine 360 back home, and I just can't imagine what that will mean for my city.
Good for you, because I know when I leave South Florida, I'm not coming back to live.
Me either, girl. But the studio.
So you want to come back to live? You just want to build it?
I want my studio to be here,
so you can.
Yeah, but
put on for the
city. I see myself like because I'm really a city boy at heart. I'm a city boy, so Atlanta would definitely be...
That's what I was gonna say. Yeah. Like you may... I know people in the South don't want to do New York. New York is like a harsh transition for Southerners.
So that whole
even though South
2.5, 3 hours with the whole airport and getting here on it. I mean, that wouldn't hurt me because I'll be here Monday through Thursday at the for the most, but my Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and my Sunday.
Listen, you have a model and you have a connection to Uncle Ricky,
right?
Ricky Smiley.
Ricky.
I mean, shout out to him. You're so silly, so
I kill
dope.
him when I do that.
I know you have to because you sound
right,
like you do it so well. And but you know, even kind of seeing some of his models with different things, like he moves around. Like he's done with his radio show, he flies out to do a show somewhere else, and then let's say a comedy show, or he's coming here to to Miami to record because he has some show. Like he just keeps it moving, and I think you got me really thinking like I got to turn up my visioning because you're getting very specific, and I'm telling myself like I know what I want, but it's not like I got to turn the dial a little bit more. So anywho, Toine, thank you for joining me, man. I'm glad I was able to snab you. Yeah, the psychic experience was interesting. Oh, last part, I just want to say this. I know people have their stigmas behind it. Do you could identify as Christian or religious? Okay,
I'm a Christian, but in the same sense.
Do you feel like God could speak in through different? Right, I almost kind of felt that too with the psychic. I was like, I wasn't bothered by that.
Yeah, but selfishly at the very beginning, selfishly I was just like,
it's a psychic. I can't do it. Yeah,
but there were certain things that he said, and I'm like, okay, not for nothing. There's no way that this guy could have thought of that. There's no way that.
Well, there were so many things that you were telling me. He said he knew your significant other's name,
right? And I'm
like
what? And just certain things that he called out, and I'm like, wow. And he's like, yeah. So you have a problem with the way that he does A, B, and C, and I'm like, okay, I've only said that to me. Like having a conversation with myself in the car.
He said I've only said that.
How would he know that? You get what I'm saying? So and just certain things. He's like, okay, you're dealing with a straight, a person that's straightforward. I'm like, you're absolutely correct.
Whoa.
He's like, all of this is new to you. You're not used to being out on dates and all of that, because this experience now is an experience like no other. My previous relationship was cool. We had fun. We did things. I think the one of the most exciting things that we did was we flew over to Aruba. I think it was Memorial Day weekend 2016.
Okay.
But although that being one of the best things that we had done at the time, that was also one of the worst things that we did at the time, because shortly after that we were done. But this relationship is different, and the psychic called it out. Like even before I got into this relationship, he said, older is better. Things are coming.
Right.
You're gonna find not that you're gonna find love, but love is gonna find you. And it's just gonna happen for you. And I tell you, like, no lie, like anybody that knows me in this space that I'm in now, literally all I do is work, eat, and sleep. That's all I do. So if you need me, you're gonna find me either working, eating, or you're gonna miss me because I'm sleeping. And
because
this guy came, and then this guy came in the midst of me working and literally swept me off my feet. And even from him introducing himself, I'm like, okay, this is not a regular introduction. This is not a regular, hi, Toine, I just want to meet you. And I mean, from there, it just blossomed. And the first time we spoke, it was just that. And before he left, he made sure to come over and give me his phone number. And I'm like, okay, people don't really give out their phone numbers anymore if it's not, right. If it's business, yeah, okay, hit me up. We'll talk about the new record. We'll talk about this new platform.
It's something business related.
Yeah, it's usually business related. But this guy came in out of nowhere and he left out of nowhere. And we exchanged numbers, and maybe 2 or 3 days later, he sent a text, and we've been texting and calling and parlaying ever since. And,
you've been texting more than you've been calling.
I've been texting more than I've been calling, which I've often have gotten in trouble for, but as of last night, I've made a promise to myself that I would communicate more effectively, and I've been practicing what I've been preaching for like the past 4 hours now.
I love that. I love that. I agree with you with the psychic experience. I'm not really turned off by it.
Right.
I didn't fully go in. I don't know if you did a full thing with him. And so.
I did. And
okay.
It just got at one point I was recording. I was filming, and as behind the camera, he just literally called me out. My mom passed in 2010. She passed from cancer, so she's on the other side. So he randomly just started talking about my mom, and I'm like, oh my God, please don't start. So he said some things about he told me that I'll be taking the trip in June. So I'm like, a trip? So
is that the trip to Disney World that you want to go to?
Maybe so.
Oh.
But he's like, well, he said it'd be with the family. And I'm like, no, I don't have a trip in June. He's like, okay, maybe you don't know about it yet. I said, well, there's definitely not a trip in June. I said I have a graduation in May. He's like, no, your mom is saying June.
Oh, shit.
Right. So I don't know what's going to happen in June, but that's just a few weeks away. And then he went into Joe. He said, your mom wants you to know that, she likes this guy that you're dealing with. He's a God-fearing man, and he so happens to be a son of a preacher. So I said, wow. I said, he's a son of a preacher man. He's like, yeah. Just imagine what he had to deal with.
Oh, wow.
So he just started talking about your mom likes this guy. He's straightforward. He doesn't have to beat around the bush. He's something that you've never dealt with before. You're not used to him calling to say, hey, we're going to dinner. You're not used to him saying, hey, let's go catch a movie. Like, those things I'm super not used to. Not that I've never had that in the past, but in the past it's usually like, okay, you want to get drunk? Let's get drunk and let's smash. And that's pretty much what it's been. And my relationship before this was a cool relationship, but it wasn't what it is now. And I don't want to keep comparing the two because I'm done. When I'm done, I'm done. And I saw him recently, and I'm glad I moved on. You ever seen, not to switch the subject, but you ever seen somebody you dealt with and it's like, what the hell was I thinking?
Yes, kind of. I think
that was me about 2 weeks ago at Revolution. He actually showed up to.
Yes. I don't ever run into exes like that. That's funny.
I didn't necessarily run into him. He was invited by a friend, and that's one of the conversations that I think I'm going to have on the show one night. When you're done, if we're friends, not that you should stop being friends with them, but if I'm going to be at a party...
Some people disagree with that sentiment, though.
I don't understand.
If we're not dating, you shouldn't be friends.
You shouldn't be... And even if maybe it's your birthday party, and it's like, hey, Toine, I want to have such and such there. I mean, not that you have to, but... Hey, I was thinking, Steven's coming I invited Steven. Are you cool with it? I mean, I can see either yes or no. Like, that decision is going to be up to me. Yeah, I have a problem with it, so I won't be at your party. No, I don't have a problem with it. I mean, I can be there. But in the same sense, it's like, if you know Steven and I never dated a Steven, but if you know Steven and I are not on the same page, you're putting me in a situation that I don't want to be in by inviting him there. So someone invited him to the party, and I didn't think it was cool, but they did. I mean, we talked, but even afterwards, I was just like, I'm glad I moved on, and I can't believe that I was a fool for as long as I was a fool for, but sometimes you have to be a fool in order to know that you are a fool, and you have to learn from the fool that you once were. So that's where I am. But Joe has come into my life and made it worth the while, and the wait was definitely worth it. So
okay, well that is listen. I want to hear about your psychic experiences. If you believe in it, if you think it's blasphemous. Yeah, I'm curious on exploring it a little bit more, but we'll see. Toine, how can they find you?
You can find me everywhere on social media at Toine the Don, TOINE.
Yeah.
THEDON, or you can stay connected at Toine360.com.
I like your website.
Thank you.
You can find me at I didn't even say my Instagram last episode, but Twitter, first name Georgette, Instagram Georgette Star with 2 R's. You know what I'm going to do? Eventually I'm going to change it back to my real name.
I like Georgette Star.
I only came up with that name because I couldn't use my real name.
Pierre, no? But
Georgette Pierre, just how Toine 360 is your brand, Georgette Pierre is my brand, GeorgettePierre.com.
I get it.
You know what I mean? And so Georgette Pierre expands.
And I'm really considering, not that I would not identify by Toine the Don, but I'm thinking Antoine. Because recently I've been introducing myself as Antoine. Okay. And I don't know why, it just came about.
I'm not mad at that. That's still your name.
It is. And having a conversation with my grandma at one point, she thought that my first and my middle name was the name that I actually go by. So Toine the Don is technically my stage name, so to speak, but my name is Antoine Devon. And I don't know if because I talk fast, she thought that that's what I was saying.
And you call it the dove.
I'm like, no grandma, I'm saying Toine the Don. And she did this whole spill about knowing what the Don is, and like my grandma has her own thoughts about this industry, how it's demonic and all of that. So I'm like, oh my God, this lady. But God bless her soul. She does. I'll just be completely honest. She has this whole thing in her mind about how this industry is demonic and all this other kind of stuff, and be careful about your soul. I'm like, yes, I get it.
I think you can find it. You can find those types of things if you're looking for them in anything.
Yeah, I agree. But that's her. But I love it.
But Antoine, okay.
But I'm thinking Antoine.
Yeah.
But if If I was to be a news anchor, I wouldn't go by Antoine Edwards. I would literally go by Antoine Devon.
Okay, so why there's an if? We're gonna get okay.
No, just I just can't be a news anchor like Toine the Don, like reporting for the 5 o'clock news. I mean, that would be different.
No, that's why I definitely agree. But I was just challenging you on the word that if.
Oh no, when?
Okay,
when?
That's all.
When.
You can find the podcast on Twitter, IG at Black Nuanced Pod, Black NUANCED Pod, and find me on Apple Podcasts, SoundCloud, iHeartRadio, and Spotify at Black and Nuanced Podcast. Email me at blacknuancepod@gmail. For your questions, comments, and feedbacks, I mean, I need to turn it up with the social media. I mean, I'd be so exhausted. It's just
me too.
Doing everything.
And you know what?
So I'm not getting my reach like I want to.
I think I put myself in a situation. I mean, it's a good situation, but I have a few clients that I'm working with, and I spend most of my time making sure that they're good. Because the money is flowing. You get what I'm saying? So when it comes to me, I'm like, oh, I need a team. You know what I'm saying? I really wish I had a team of people.
Yeah, maybe even an intern.
To kind of help. But girl, these interns want a full paycheck these days.
Oh, I know.
Like a full paycheck. Excuse me, can I talk to you about when I interned? Okay.
Right, that's what you gotta find.
No paycheck.
Anyways, Toine, we out of here.
Thank you so much for having me. Live, love, and laugh.
We're about to get to the meeting. We're so hungry.
I know I am.
Peace.